Entertainment.
So, Matt, when you think of a dangerous movie, like to work on, like what comes to mind? Like if you're going to be on a set of a movie and you're going to be in danger, like what do you have in mind?
What's my job in the scenario?
Let's just say the actor.
All right, dangerous job for an actor. I'm thinking of those movies that were all made in the 60s where in every movie someone falls into quicksand.
All right. We'll go with that quicksand.
Did you ever hear that? There was a podcast, and I want to say it was Radio Lab. Did you ever hear it? There's a whole podcast on how there I think it was the 60s, there was a steep rise in quicksand-related fiction.
Yeah, I do remember, and how people aren't afraid of it anymore.
Yeah, people stopped being afraid of quicksand. Like it became it was like in the really suspenseful movies, and then it slowly moved toward it was like in like Gilligan's Island, and then eventually it's not in movies anymore. It was like this quicksand was this ideal terrifying thing, and then it slowly degraded to where it's just not something we're scared of anymore.
I'm going to blame that on the big quicksand lobby.
All right, Spitzer. So, entertainment. Where am I wrong? Is it quicksand?
No, it's not related to quicksand. What I thought you'd say is something to do with like crazy stunts, like like car chase type things.
I know to your modern ears, quicksand doesn't sound like a crazy stunt.
Okay, well, arguably this was the most dangerous feature film ever made, and it involved 150 big cats, including lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars, and cougars.
Oh my.
No bears. And there was this couple, Tippi Hedren, who had been a star in the movie The Birds by Hitchcock, and Noel Marshall, who had been the producer of The Exorcist. And they went to Africa, and they were like really inspired by this old like game warden's house that had been overtaken by a pride of lions. And so they thought this would be a really good movie idea. So they bought this house like kind of in the boonies around LA. And originally they were going to like rent Hollywood trained lions, but they couldn't quite afford that route. So they just started taking in all these rejects from like zoos and circuses and private owners that like didn't want to keep up with the, secondhand lions, and just amassed this big collection. And they never got around to training them.
Oh, God.
So they had like this loose idea of a script, and they just kind of go around shooting the lions, tigers, and jaguars, like kind of documentary style, while the actors would go around like saying their lines and hoping the lions would go along with it.
Wow. How many actors were eaten?
Well, apparently 70 crew members or actors were injured during the film.
God.
There was one particular cinematographer, Jan de Bont, who he was effectively scalped by a lioness.
Oh.
And he had to receive 200 stitches. But apparently he stayed around to the end of the film. Which staying around to the end of the film was a feat in itself, because they filmed it over a period of 10 years.
What?
Which I guess had something to do with the method actor lions and the fact that they had almost no money. But I don't know. This just seemed like a crazy story. They had no visual special effects because of, I guess I don't know if it was they couldn't afford
spent
them
all their money on lions. But this is the worst conceived idea. It's like, well, we know how to make movies with animals and big cats, and but let's just buy them. and then write a movie and try to act with them around.
Yeah. There were
the
a few
worst.
parts. Oh, go ahead.
I just said that's the worst.
Yeah. There's parts they used in the film where like the actors are literally getting tackled by lions and sometimes bit by lions.
What's this movie called?
It's called Roar. It also apparently did not do very well in the box office, and it cost $17 million to make, which this is a 1981 movie, and it took 10 years. So, back to inflation. Back when it was really $1, they spent $17 million. And then,
Back when $1 was $1.
yeah, it fell short of recouping those expenses, and unfortunately, the family who created it had to like mortgage all their assets to finance it. So it's kind of a disaster in almost every way. They also I didn't get the specifics on this, but apparently the production included a fire, a flood, and a disease that took the lives of several of the Big Cat performers.
The actual cats died in real life?
Yeah, because of some disease they got, which I have to imagine had something to do with the fact that there were 150 of them in this one area. I mean, if you watch some of the footage of this, they are like piled on each other, which makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah.
They have a few clips on a link that I'll include. Actually, the blog post I got this from was from cinematographer Randolph Sellers, who was part of the project. And funny enough, the name of the blog post is "The Most Dangerous Movie Ever Made, Part 1." He never wrote the second part. I think he only has 4 blog posts from like 2011 on his site. So I thought that was funny. I'm also going to throw out my friend and coworker Leon Barwick was the one that gave me this story. But I don't know, this just seemed insane. And if you watch the clips that are on the link that I'll provide to that blog post, it looks maybe even more dangerous than it sounds, because there are lions literally like fighting each other. I mean, they're playing, but they're literally, they're like reared up and growling and teeth bared. And
I just pulled it up. I just pulled up some of this footage. It looks insane. There's a footage of there's 8 or 9 lionesses attacking an actor, and I guess they're not killing him, so they're probably playing in some. I guess they all just grew up around these actors. I don't know, but he looks terrified, and the other actor that's standing with him is not trying to help. He's just standing still and trying so the lionesses don't notice him.
I think the good part about this whole thing, in their mind, was that none of them actually had to act scared.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a very method sort of acting.
But it's funny because real fear looks so much different. This isn't some sort of
This isn't terror, zooming in on a woman's throat as she's screaming or something. This is a man just trying to claw free from lions.
In fact, it more looks like he's trying to act like he's not concerned.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to act. Oh gosh, he's I don't even know if he's even trying to act. Some of this, he just looks like he's tearing through the dirt. His fingers are clawing in the dirt, trying to escape the lion's grasps. Yeah. Speaking of method acting, did you hear about this new Shia LaBeouf project? Did you listen to Jordan Jesse Go this week?
No, I did hear about something that he had apparently stolen a script from somebody. Is that what we're talking about?
No, this is more recent. That was a few months ago. I think he apparently just straight up plagiarized a short film and presented it as his own, line for line, shot for shot kind of deal. Which is pretty crazy. I haven't really read up on that story, so I'm not going to be too accusatory. I'll say allegedly. But no, apparently he has just been cast in a new movie where he is going to have sex on film.
That's called a sex tape.
People
release these all the time.
This is going to be a theatrical release, a movie where they actually have like intercourse, like full intercourse on screen, and Shia LaBeouf is the star.
So he's gonna perform in a porno with a plot.
That sounds like what it is.
Essentially, what? Yeah.
That's real crazy. When did I liked Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my gosh! I'm just while we're talking, I've got in the back on my desktop just these lions attacking this guy. And it seems like it's all this one guy. They like all the other actors are like standing in the background and like watching like he's crazy, and he's just like challenging lions and like getting knocked over and
there's a part in the one that I saw where you can see the guy who they talk about them actually being bitten and having real blood and stuff on the camera. Like there was a part where you see him get bitten and he looks at his hand and like shakes it off and then tries to continue acting.
Oh gosh. I'm not even watching a documentary on it. I'm actually just watching the movie. They have the whole movie up on YouTube
send that link to me.
In parts. Let's see. I'm sure it's probably illegally posted, but we'll put it in the show notes anyway.
Yeah. Well, you can't actually buy this movie anymore, as far as I know. There was a link on the blog to where you could buy it, and the link was broken. So I don't know if you can even purchase this movie any longer. But yeah, I'll watch this later. For the heck of watching it.
I'm just scanning through watching clips from it, and it is insane. They have it in 5 or 6 parts on YouTube, and it just looks real crazy. So you guys check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for listening. Want to pursue more trivialities? Find every full episode and show notes at pursuitofthetrivial.wordpress.com. Listen to Matt's music at mattcarrollmusic.com. Check out Spencer's art blog at spencerroeder.com. As for me, I'm David C. Robertson, and you can see my original sketch, comedy, and web series, many of which feature Matt and Spencer, at maladjusted.tv.